It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Grizzly on the hunt. Sorry about the long delay there, ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast and around the world. I had some technical difficulties. I'm telling you, with these haunted dolls I have above my studio here. Last show I was live, and all of a sudden I lost all my audio. They could hear me, but I could not hear them. So, welcome. Welcome. I have Derek here. Derek, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I'm glad to have you here. Introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself as well.
Well, my name is Derek, as you just said. I'm a psychic medium from Dubuque, Iowa. I trying to think here.
Yeah, I kind of put you on the spot a little bit. So when you say you're a psychic medium, so what do? Do you see things? Do you hear things? How does that work?
Both. It's I see them, I hear them. You know, some people can feel like them touching you. Thankfully,
Really?
it happened to me.
Wow.
Occasionally, I'll have them jump in.
They jump into your body?
Yep.
Wow. How does that feel?
It feels really weird. It's very tiring. It's more like a channeling. Have you ever seen anybody channel before?
Yes. I actually seen that before. That's pretty interesting. Very interesting. So when did you learn that you had these abilities? What age?
I was right about 12 years old.
Okay.
My grandfather had appeared to me. He had passed away in the home that I was in. And it was, it's 11, 12 years old was when it happened. And he appeared to me. And ever since then, have been able to see spirits. It's like I opened up something because of the grief that I had for my grandfather.
Oh, now has anybody else in your family have these abilities, or are they just you?
Not that I'm aware of. I keep them quiet within my family.
Right.
I know my grandfather was part Indian.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know much of his side of the family.
Right.
I don't know how they really worked per se, I guess. His mother was full Indian, so he was half.
Oh, I got you. But being 12 years old and seeing your grandfather coming back to you, how did that make you feel? I mean, what was you thinking?
It made me second guess everything, like because I knew that he had passed away, so I knew like he couldn't be there.
Right.
So I was searching for him. I literally went through the house, yelling for him, thinking that he was gonna pop out in front of me or something. And the only time that he did was when I was alone, back in his bedroom where he passed away at.
Really?
Yes.
Now, did he say anything to you, or did he communicate with you, or?
All he said was, "Take care of Grandma."
Oh.
That's all he said to me. It's a hard thing to hear your grandfather say, when you're 12 years old is to take care of your grandmother.
Right.
And then every day on the day that he passed, or every year on the day that he had passed, is when I would see him.
Wow. Now, does he come to you in the same room, or does he just come to you wherever you're located?
Wherever I'm located at. I haven't been back to that house in probably I'm approaching about 8 years now.
Okay. I see. Now, growing up with these abilities and everything, it had to be rough being around other people. How is that? I mean, what is that like? I mean, like if you and I were out in a crowd of people, right?
Mhm.
And do you just like pick up everybody's emotions and
Yeah,
feelings? How does that work?
I pick it all up. It's honestly, it's hell. Um, I don't like picking up everybody's emotions. I have to kind of turn it off, per se. Like I still pick up the sadness and like a funeral, the happiness, and a wedding and stuff like that. But I have to really separate myself from them,
Right.
or else I can go down into a spiral, especially if it's a negative environment.
Okay. Okay. So did it take you long to learn how to separate yourself from that? I mean, how did you teach yourself that?
In my teen years, I basically ignored it all. Um, got into my lower 20s. I was still ignoring it. My upper 20s is when I hit a depression state, because ignoring all of that basically eats you alive. Um, a old friend of mine knew what was going on with me and said, "You can't continually keep this in you. It's going to eat you alive."
Right. Right.
So I've been working close with her since then. Uh, well, you know her, Catherine.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, she's in the chat room right now. Hello, Catherine. She's right here. And, ladies and gentlemen, people don't understand, abilities, people that have abilities, they can come in different shapes, forms, and fashions. They can be near death experiences, they can be passed down from generations. They can get them from dramatic events in life, tragic events that can trigger them. But when you have these abilities, like Derek is saying and advising us, you know, you don't fit in, right?
Yeah,
So, you're around people, you don't know what's going on. You're picking up everybody's emotions, you're picking up people's thoughts, you're picking up people's hurt and pain, their happiness, their sadness, their depression. It's terrible. I mean, you don't know what's going on. You think you're losing it. The only reason I know this is because I interview so many psychics and mediums, whatever you want to call them, however you want to label them. That's fine. They're special. They have abilities.
yeah.
Now, Derek has taken his abilities. Hey guys, hello there. You know, and is using them and went into the paranormal investigation, right? Isn't that what you told me that you're doing?
Yes. Yep.
So let's talk about that. So how are you using your abilities on that side?
Um, so I'm able to go into a location, and well, first thing that happens is the feeling. I pick up the feelings of the place.
Right.
Every home, every building harbors the feelings of the past.
Okay.
At least that's how I see it. Others
Right.
may not. Um, and then what I'll do is I'll go through and kind of just open up, let my mind be free. That's when they'll usually come. Catherine always says there's a light within everybody. They see that light. And when they come up to you, that's when you're able to converse with them. You're able to get their stories. Now, I was at a location once, and a woman had come up to me and told me her story. Come to find out, it was a guest of the location that we were at. It was um, it, it was a guest of the location that we were at.
So one of the spirits there came to you
Yeah,
and was like, "Hey, I'm a guest here, and I passed," and they were telling you their story about themselves.
exactly. Sorry, I got tongue
That
tied.
that's okay. Hey, man, we're here number one to promote you and to understand, because a lot of people when they hear psychics and mediums and clairvoyants, they see stuff on TV and they don't understand what a person goes through and how it actually affects them with everyday life, like you, Derek.
Yeah.
It changes people. I mean, some of them, don't go out in public because they're trying to learn how to shut it off. It messes with their minds. Like you said, you go through a state of depression,
Hmm.
you're not alone. It happens. But I can tell you one thing, you got one hell of a teacher, one
Yeah.
hell of an instructor. I think the world of her. She is actually on my panel of psychics like you are.
Yeah.
And I only choose the best of the best, and I know that they're real. So, and there are reasons why you all are on that panel for projects
Mm,
and
her and I,
shows.
we've worked together on a couple of different ones
Right.
privately,
Absolutely.
and everything that they wanted to know was right on the money.
That is
'Cause we
correct.
didn't we didn't
That is
veer off
correct.
of anything. So,
So, go ahead.
oh, I was finished. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I don't want to interrupt you. I got a little delay on my end. So I had problems on the last show
Okay.
with my software. So when you go into a building, so let's say you and I are and Karen, or Catherine, we're going into the building. We're going to investigate. They're seeing apparitions and stuff, and you're going in there and you're starting to get feelings. Now, if there are spirits there, do you see them? Or do you just open yourself up for that beacon of light and you just let them come to you? Or do you see them where they're at, while you're walking? I mean,
Both.
what is you see both?
Yes.
I mean, how does that make you feel?
Um, at first, it made me feel like I was a freak, misunderstood. Nobody could really understand what was going on with me. But nowadays, it makes me feel good, especially if I know they have a story to be told,
Right.
or a or if a loved one is there with us, I can pass their message on to that loved one.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's something that I really enjoy doing.
That's awesome.
So you're helping not only the spirit of the loved one, but you're helping the loved one out as well, getting that sense of closure for them.
So what do you do? Do you like just have like do you just have your friends come over, or do you have like people come to you? Do you have a website or
No, I'm one that keeps it relatively quiet. Um, I like keeping it private.
I understand, I respect that. Yeah.
Um, my wife's family knows about it. My family, they know there's something up, but they don't pry.
Right.
So, and they respect my boundaries, I guess. They
Well,
know that I love the paranormal, and
well, anytime that you deal with number one, paranormal, you always got that stigmatism, right? Oh my
mhm,
God, they're dabbling in the afterlife, they're dabbling with ghosts, whatever. And then on top of it, you bring in somebody with, that with has, possibly abilities to communicate with people that's crossed over or see things that's past or
mhm,
see things that's not even been born or is not even a human form and see these things as you walk into places. I mean, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't do it. There's no way. This morning I was out in the woods and I saw things when I was walking, and it took me about the third or fourth one. Brenda knows I had to send a picture to Brenda. I was like, what is this? Is this what I think it is? I couldn't sit there and play Dick Tracy on it because somebody was with me because they would freak out. But I
yeah,
had to double check. I had to check myself because I didn't want to see it. So yeah, see, she said yeah. So, but it's just people look at you differently, and
they do.
and it's terrible.
Yeah,
And a lot of people, Derek, that I interviewed and spoke to, really had a real rough childhood growing up because, they said they didn't fit in. They didn't understand why.
mhm,
They didn't understand why people didn't see what they saw, why, they didn't feel the things really felt. I mean, I could not imagine sitting on a school bus or sitting in a lunchroom or sitting next to somebody or being in the same room and feeling or whatever, thinking what they're feeling or whatever it is and knowing that stuff, I mean, it's just awful. I mean, how do you deal with it on a daily basis?
you learn you learn to ignore it, and if you don't, there's sometimes that you have to ignore it. Other times you have to just tell the person. You have to open your mouth up and say, "Hey, I see this around you. Could it be so and so who is trying to speak with you?"
Oh, okay.
That's how a barrier can be broken, I guess. Um,
I
Also,
got you.
you find people like uh, Catherine and uh, yeah, you find people like Catherine that do it, and then they're able to teach people like me that aren't sure on how to do certain things,
Well,
but
when
knows full.
yeah, I mean, when you have something like what you have, it's very special.
Mhm.
Okay. And people don't understand it because they don't understand it because they don't have it. Now, some of us have intuition.
Mhm.
Some of us are mothers, and mothers have that third eye, is what I always say, that they know when, little Johnny's reaching in that cookie jar or little Johnny's getting ready to get into trouble. That's that. I mean, mama's got something.
Yep.
But when you got something more than that, and you know exactly what's going to happen, or you know exactly what's they're thinking, or you're standing there talking to your friend, and next thing you know, their uncle standing on the shoulder saying, "Hey, I got a message for him. Can you please explain?" Or trying to get your attention. I mean, what do? Do you just say, "Hey, your loved one's here, and they're trying to give you a message, and I got to tell you this"? Is that how it works with you?
You try to, yeah, try to keep it in a general conversation,
Wow.
just so they don't go spazzy, I guess. I've had some people look at me like I'm batshit crazy and just walk away from me.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just people just don't understand, and and that would hurt my feelings.
Yep.
You know, Yeah, I mean, that would make me want to not to tell anybody else anything about nothing. And if somebody come up to me and be like, "Hey, I need you to go over there and tell him or tell her this," I'd be like, "You're crazy."
Yeah. And doing a like what I'm doing with you,
Yes, sir.
that's that's more gratifying for me
Well, good.
to let the people know about their loved one. Their Whether the loved one has been is deceased or not, that's what I want to give to the people. That sense of closure. I want to.
See, now that's awesome. That's awesome. So that's what you want to do with your abilities. You want to help people with closure. Is that what I'm gathering from what you're saying? Uh-oh, we froze up. I don't know if it's me or froze up or it's him. Testing, testing. Ladies and gentlemen, is it me or is it Derek? See, every time I got to get rid of these dolls, something is banging on the floor in my studio. Can anybody hear me? It's him. Brenda, these dolls are haunting me. Is the chat format differently today? No, I think it's the dolls that are causing these problems. I got to get rid of these dolls. So they are for sale. They are banging on the floor. I have no idea what's going on. Yes, I know. My last show crashed. I was on chat with the program manager. It was like, "Hey, man, I was actually live, ladies and gentlemen," and all of a sudden, you know, I couldn't hear them, but they can hear me. So Derek's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Come back." I'm telling him to come back. So see if we can't get him back in here. Yeah, crazy witch. Yeah, I gotta get rid of these dolls. No dolls. I got 5 of them looking up at me, and I've been told, and I'm not gonna show. Look at Sean. No dolls. Yeah, that's right. The chat screen is slow on page. I can't see the video. No, you can't see the video. Well, here's Derek. All right, Derek.
All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. It's so Derek. I've got 5 dolls above my head.
Hmm.
Bought them at an antique store, and they've been causing me problems ever since I bought them. So I think there's some issues with them. So I do apologize. I've been treating them real nice. I haven't blessed them. I'm afraid to bless them. I think it's going to make it worse. So I'm trying to give them to a good home. So, anyways, back to you. Welcome back. So that's what you want to do with your abilities is that you want to give closure to people. So
Hmm.
that's what you're learning to do. Now,
Yes.
do people like right now, you're sitting there talking to me. Do people just come to you and stand in line, or do they come to you in a circle and be like, "Hey, Derek, this is a message."
My home is a my sanctuary.
Right.
Um, I I don't allow that to happen in my home.
Well, that's good.
I You have to set about boundaries for them, or they're just gonna drive you nuts. That's what I've come to find out.
Now, was it hard to set boundaries in the beginning,
Yes,
or was it simple?
it's very hard to set those boundaries because you want to help everyone, but you can't.
Now, if I was learning to do what you were doing, how would you set up the boundaries? What is the process?
I work in Wicca as well,
Uh-huh.
so it's a basically what I do is I use crystals and herbs to prevent to make my home my sanctuary.
Okay.
Uh, in each of the four corners of my home, I have Epsom salt and rose quartz to catch the negative energy. It it really is a um, it's a different type of boundary. You say, "This is my sanctuary. Please do not cross it."
All right. Now, I have kits that I send out to people that have uh, issues at their residence, their houses, their sanctuary. They are religious objects that are blessed, just like what you do. Same thing, but I extend out to the outside of the property, to the boundaries of the property,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to the inside of the corners of the home, to the inside of the home, to each room. So to flush anything out. Now, I understand what boundaries mean, and it's very important to set up boundaries,
Yeah,
especially if you are into the paranormal, which people don't understand because Derek will tell you, and I'm not speaking for him, but I want to say this, let him talk about it. But if you don't, what happens, Derek, if you go on investigation and don't set up boundaries and come home?
you're gonna get jumped, and they're gonna follow you home.
And that happens, ladies and gentlemen. You get attachments. What do you think about people provoking spirits? Do
That's
you
a
like that?
no. I hate it. And every time I see it on TV, whether it's fake or not, it it really ruffles my feathers.
And why does it ruffle your feathers?
It's they're people too. The
So,
spirits are people as well. You need to treat them as you would somebody else.
yeah, treat them with respect, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. And don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, yes, TV is entertainment, but I always tell people, if you're out there and you want to learn, how to investigate or learn how to, start investigating, the paranormal. Check around your area that if there's any people that have any paranormal teams, any groups, associations. Another one is check with you if you have anybody that has abilities in your area, psychic, clairvoyance, mediums. Uh, it's very interesting to have some of those people to go with you
Yeah.
on investigations because they can give you more insight than you do and will know. Right, Derek?
Yes.
I mean, you're going to know before I will.
Yeah.
So,
Can't help but say, do you know any of the backstory of those dolls by chance?
tell me because you're getting something, and I already go ahead. Go ahead and tell me.
I At least one of them was owned by a girl.
That is
Not
correct.
not a little girl, but a girl.
Right.
She's more of a trickster, I guess.
Okay.
She likes to mess with you.
That is correct.
Is it like a sandy, almost like a sandy brown color?
You're give me some more.
Sorry, normally I don't do remote.
That's all right. Yeah, this is remote viewing right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is so, and the reason why I asked him this question, he's right. He is absolutely right. He does not know. But I have 5. Now, out of the 5, he's got it down to a number of them. So, and I know which one he's talking about, but I don't want to grab it and you all be like, that was fake. It was set up. And it's not. I'm going to get back here to the comments while he's thinking. What are you feeling?
Almost. I'm trying to get the color of the dress.
You're right on that.
It's a darker color.
Okay.
Come on.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Porcelain.
what's that?
Is she porcelain?
I think maybe. I don't know. That is a good question. How is it made?
What do you mean by how it's made? Like, I'm seeing like paint being painted on.
What type of hair?
There's 2 of them.
Shut the front door. Shut the front door, ladies and gentlemen. He's right. Do I have permission to grab them, Derek? Would she let me touch them? Is that okay, or she want me to leave them alone to show them?
I want to.
Don't touch them.
No,
Okay.
that would just.
Is she okay with me having them?
I'm getting no.
So
Like,
Derek's right. So
rather upset.
wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is not stage. This is not. Can you see the dolls? I will take a picture Will she allow me to take a picture? Is that okay? I don't want to really start
Ask
up.
permission first.
Can I say her name?
Yeah.
Jackie, is it okay if I can take permission to take a picture of your two dolls so I can show the audience what we're talking about, please? I don't mean any harm or anything. I know you've been playing with me in my studio. I didn't mean to offend you in any way. I know I've been talking about you a lot on the air, but they want to know what you all look like. And I would like to show the people out here on live what you look like. Is that okay if I do that? And what is she saying, Derek?
I'm just getting the number 1.
Just take one picture or take one picture of one doll?
1 picture.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do it. As long as she says it's okay, I'm not going to touch them. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Oh, I got the EBGBers, Derek. I never, so actually, ladies and gentlemen, when I first got these dolls in one of my shows, I was going to actually let everybody name them one at a time. And I showed them to a group of psychics on my panel, and every one of them flipped out. So, and that's Derek, you were 100% accurate all the way across the board. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to upload this picture and show you these dolls. And I just took the pictures or a picture of the dolls that he just described. So here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm bringing it up right now. Let's see here. We hit a couple of buttons here. Open up another page. You can tell, Derek, I'm nervous. Grizzly don't get nervous, but I'm nervous. Hold on, I gotta bring up Facebook because I sent it to my messenger. It was a lot easier to do it that way.
Yep.
Well, I'm back on my live page. Hold on here.
How long ago did you acquire the dolls?
I want to say about a week or two, if that.
Okay.
What does she want me to do with them?
They're almost like a vintage, and I haven't seen these dolls yet, so I don't know.
Well, I'm bringing them up right now. I've got them up on the screen. I'm going back live to actually show everybody what they are. I'm doing it right now. Here we go. Window, that screen, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So what happened was when I was in the antique store, I was walking along and I heard,
Hello. Excuse me.
and I thought it was a child asking me to move out of the aisle because I was blocking it. So if you see between them is one of my REM pods. So I haven't usually don't touch the REM pods. The EMF does go off, detected does go off on all of the dolls. Since I had the dolls, I have been having some issues. I'm not going to deny that. You have seen it if you've been watching my shows live. Some of my shows end up in a ditch, but we'll say that for another show. But what can I do to make Jackie happy? Why is she unhappy with me?
And I'm not necessarily sure if she's unhappy with you.
Okay.
I want to say she's just unhappy all around. No, there's sadness attached to it all. She's not. I'm not saying that you don't love the doll, but if she's not being loved by a child or a woman, a young woman, then that's not going to make her happy. It's almost like Robert the doll, in a sense. Treat her with the most up respect that you can.
So basically, what you're telling me is, as long as I give respect to Jackie's dolls, I should be okay. But she's still gonna just toy with me.
Yes, that's. Otherwise, I would just kind of set them free, I guess you'd say.
And how do I do that?
Um, you could bless them.
Jackie would be okay if I do bless them, since she knows I'm a reverend.
Jackie should be. Now, make sure when you leave your studio, you say goodnight.
Wow.
When you enter, say good morning or hello.
Okay.
To me, these dolls require a lot of respect.
So basically, what I'm gathering is that I have been disrespecting these dolls by putting them on the air and trying to name them. Is that what I'm gathering?
That's where I'm feeling, yes.
Okay. Well, that will explain a lot of the activity that I've been receiving, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually been recorded live during my shows. So, yes, Brenda, there are 5 dolls. He did not know. He did not know that 2 of the dolls were owned by a female. No. They were bought out of an antique store, not a Salvation Army. Uh, Oracle Whispers, fuzzy photo of one doll. Really? I'm sorry, I was shaking up. I did not pay attention. Let me go back and look. I still got the photograph pulled up. Let me go back and look.
Should be the one on the right, I believe.
Hold up. Let me bring this back up. I didn't look. I was just shook it up a little bit because you were spot on. Hold on. Let me wow. Windows. Let me hold on. I got to bring the picture back up. I'm sorry. My mind's kind of like blown right now. I was not, ladies and gentlemen, I was not expecting this at all. So, all right. I got the picture back up. I'm going to share the screen. And here we go. Share screen. Got to hit one more button because it's on a different format. I think it's this one. No, wrong one. Stop sharing. Hold up. Let me try it again. That's how nervous I am, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Windows. Let's see here. Well, I got the picture up, but I don't see it. Bear with me. Let me try one more time. Facebook. Let me do this one. Share. We'll just close this out a little bit. See, I don't see none of that. We'll just go back here and we'll just pull this up. And I'll pull the picture back up. Can y'all see what I'm doing? All right, there's the picture. Can y'all see it? Are y'all still with me, Derek?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Y'all scared me there for a moment. Woof. All right. So there's the picture. Now, I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, without a doubt, that one on the right is not in the same position as it was when I took that picture. The one on the right is more facing towards this way than it is that way. I didn't touch the one on the right. The one I touched was the one on the left. Oh, I didn't touch any of them. I just took a photograph. So I don't know. So that's what I'll do. I will do what you ask. I believe in you. I believe in what you say. You done proved it to me, or you wouldn't be on my panel. So does she not want me to get rid of them?
It's hard to say with how she's doing.
Okay.
I currently have 2 dolls myself,
Right.
and I had to bind them.
Did you?
Yep. We're maybe lucky my wife might be watching. Maybe have her bring one in. But it's her name is Scarlet.
Which one? The one on the right or the left?
Oh, the one that I'm having my wife bring in.
Oh, okay. All right.
Scarlet.
So Kanda is like, hi, all loving this. I'm not loving it. It's scaring the living bejeebies out of me, especially when Derek's telling me exactly. Derek's he did not know what I bought. He has no idea what I purchased. He has no idea what's in my studio. He has no idea how many I had. And that's why I did not want to answer any of his questions. And I did not want to give him any clues, because I wanted to prove to you all that people that have abilities are actually real. So, yes.
She got out of her ribbons.
And yes, Sean, go ahead, Darren.
This is Scarlet.
Okay.
She was from a lady that my wife and I really like. She's had to be bound simply because of the location that she was in. She had a good home, but it was a storage unit that she had stayed in. Within the storage unit was some bad was in a bad location. In a haunted location, I should say.
All right. That makes sense.
So she harbors some of that.
Right.
Yes, I'm holding her, but I'm being extremely careful with her. And I address her by her name.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard my wife, but she said, Scarlett, may I pick you up?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to go ahead and place her back in the box
Okay.
that she's bound in.
Sean, yes, each of the dolls, the EMF meter does go off. Each of the dolls will make the EMF meter go off on command. I actually proved that on one of my shows.
And
So, what's that?
each full moon, we do a cleansing of them.
Okay.
We take them out and cleanse them in the moonlight, just to kind of help begins how they're in our home, to help make sure that their energy doesn't affect us.
Okay. Okay. Sean, actually, since I bought them, once I don't want to say play with them, but once I got put them on the air and showed them, I had a lot of increased activity, and I placed them above me. I have not touched them since. That's why I asked Derek, was I allowed to touch them? And he said no. So I did not touch them.
Yeah.
So I know now to ask permission. I know what to do after the show. I know what I'm going to do with the dolls. I will bless each and every one. Ladies and gentlemen, this stuff's real. I mean, we're not sitting here fabricating this stuff. I mean, it is. I mean, Derek had no idea. Yes, I got the Jeepy Creepies. So, I mean, it's just amazing that people have abilities to do that. Now, with that being said, Derek, what do you feel about the other ones? Since I have them, or are you picking up anything at all, or am I okay on those too?
They just want to be loved from the others. So what
That's
I'm
it.
picking up,
Okay.
I haven't picked up anything else until those two were the strongest.
Okay.
So they really stood out to me.
All right.
Yeah, those were probably the strongest that I felt in a very long time. Uh, Especially for me to do a remote.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in Northern Kentucky. Where are you located?
Dubuque, Iowa.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call remote viewing. I have Angela Ford that worked for the United States government, DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, that used to spy on the Soviet Union, that did the same thing Derek did. So it is real. He just proved it. So now the woman or the child, is it a woman that owned them or a child?
She's in between.
So
She's not a full woman, but not a child. She has almost like she has a mentality of a child, but the body of a woman, if that makes sense.
yes, it does. That makes perfectly clear sense to me now. That makes perfectly clear sense to me. Now let me ask you this. I'm trying to ask this question without leading you on to an answer or giving you any information so to prove to the world. When I purchased those 2 dolls, did she own the other ones as well?
I'm not sure on.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that question, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted a certain one, and I had to buy a certain amount of them to get what I wanted. So I had to buy a lot, not a lot like in 20. And it was like, you had to buy, if you
The
bought
lot,
one, what's that?
the lot of them. They
Right.
had to go together.
That is correct. So that's why I was asking if she owned them all.
So those 2 were her favorite.
Okay. All right. Well, I will take good care of them. I will say good morning and good night. I will make sure and bless them. I've got all the necessary tools and equipment to do that. So I do apologize for disrespecting the dolls. Yes, Grizzly is making that public announcement on air. I do not want, hey, if you want to hang around the studio and have some fun with me, that's fine. Just don't mess up my live shows, and don't knock over my tea no more. I mean, you can play with my phones and stuff, but you can touch me, I'm down with that, but just don't hurt me. And I scare easy. And I know she knows that. She's already played with me a few times. So, is there anything that she wants to tell me while she's here with you?
It's after you got done speaking your piece, she said thank you.
That makes me feel a lot better, ladies and gentlemen. Really does. So, Jackie, I will take care of them. I feel a lot more comfortable now than I was. I do apologize for if I, like I said, disrespected you or your dolls by displaying them and trying to, use them and to name them on the air on different shows. I will not do that, and I'll take good care of them. So yes, absolutely. I do not have a problem with that. So anything I can do for Jackie, you can tell Jackie, let me know, and I will do anything I can to help her. Is she stuck here, or she just come here because the dolls, or what's her story, Derek?
Getting that that her dolls were like her prized possession. That um, she didn't have much in life, but when she had those dolls, that was her pride and joy.
Okay, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. It makes a lot of sense to me too. Why the way I always grab them off the top of my shelf of my studio, yanking them and by their feet. And I do apologize. I will not do that. So, but before I will bless them, Jackie, I will ask permission before I will touch them, and then we'll take good care of them. So, absolutely, they're in a good, safe home. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect this to happen on this show this evening, did we, Derek?
No.
Not at all. This stuff, I don't know why, is usually Grizzly is involved with something. I really appreciate that, Derek. That kind of, just relieved a lot of stress off me. It explains a lot of activity in the studio. It explains what happened on my last show, which nobody could explain why I lost all my hearing. All my equipment checked out fine. They did a diagnostic on it while I was live. Soundboards and everything were fine. All my settings were fine. So, yeah. Anybody out there, Denise? Sean, you got any questions? Or Crazy Witch? Brenda, you guys all have any questions now? Oracle Whispers, Seeker. Who else is out there? Sean. I'm kind of at a loss. I'm speechless. So, yes, Sean, to answer your question earlier, yes, each doll, when I brought them home, you can take the EMF detector over them and they would go off, yes. And I actually did that on the show, too. Sean says, my suggestion is to get rid of them. Well, Jackie said not to. So I'm going to take good care of them. Of course, they have nothing for you and they don't appreciate you. Let's see if Sean let them move on. Yes, whatever they need to, I will do that, right?
Yeah.
Crazy Witch says, I'm just along for the ride. Well, I thought I was too, but I just didn't want to end up in the ditch. Kanda, I wonder if they would like the cat and ball to communicate with them. You know what? That's a good question. Matter of fact, Derek, I was going to buy those cat balls that light up. Now, I do have a REM pod up there. It's not turned on. Should I buy those cat balls and place them next to the dolls? That way Jackie can communicate to me? Would that help her at all to make her feel comfortable?
The cat balls are a hit and miss, I feel like. I personally use them on investigations if I don't feel like using my gifts. But yeah, I agree with Candy. It would probably be a good idea to try those out.
What would Jackie think of it? Or is she still here, or she moved on?
She's kind of hovering, I guess. That makes any sense.
Yes, it does. So, Sean, what a cat ball is, it's a little cat toy. It's circle, it's plastic. And any vibration or movement, it glows or it lights up, right?
Yep.
So when a cat hits it, it lights up and something inside of it moves. So it gets the cat's attention. So what investigators do, they set them in rooms or put them on tables or whatever, and they would ask children or adults or spirits if they want to interact to go over and touch that cat ball and make that light up, just like the old flashlight trick. Can you turn that flashlight on? So the cat balls came out, I think, a couple of years ago, 2 to 3, and somebody used them, and they're like, wow, they bought them for the cat, and one of the spirits were playing with them, and they're like, this will be a good tool to use on investigation. So that's how it went. You can look them up on YouTube. Very interesting. They're inexpensive. Ain't that right, Derek?
Yep.
So vibrating dolls, cats would destroy them. Yes, they would. So,
This is
but
a
yeah.
capital.
Oh, there you go. Derek's got one. See? So yeah. So absolutely. So what do they smell like? So basically, imagine walking into an antique store and taking a deep breath. So now, did I sniff every doll that I bought? No. So do I know what they actually smell like? No. Do I want to smell them now? No. I don't want to get that close to them and disrespect them. Because let me tell you something. I interviewed a guy last week or a week and a half ago that actually had some activity in his house. Or no, I interviewed a paranormal investigator. That's what it was. And he had activity in a house. And they got called to that house numerous times. And one thing I always say is never challenge anything that you do not know what you're challenging. That's my number one golden rule.
Yeah.
Well, the father, let me back up. They got EVPs. They didn't know what to do with them. They didn't know if they wanted to sit down and share them with the parents because it was regarding the children that they had. It was very graphic in nature, very dark. They were scared. They had to have a meaning about it, whether they were going to disclose it or not. They debated about it, and they decided to do it. They set the parents down and talked to them, to brace them. I mean, we're talking about stuff coming off shelves. We're talking about poltergeist activity. We're talking about shadows. We're talking the real deal here. I mean, this has been documented. This is not something that's been fabricated. This guy is legit. This guy, everybody knows. He's out in our community. He's not on TV doing this. He's in our community. Everybody knows who he is. The dad heard the EVP. He told that ghost, spirit, demon, whatever you want to call it, that he was not afraid of it and it will not harm any of his kids in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And he dared it to, because he would stop it. There's no way and no way in hell that was ever going to happen to him or his family. Then investigators about fell out and begged him to retract that and take it back. Yeah, see, some people are thinking, what happened? Well, nothing happened right then. You know? Not even a month later, the mother calls. He answers the phone. I just want to let you know that our 14-year-old we just buried. We found her up in the attic. Healthy 14-year-old. Autopsy revealed she died of a heart attack. Now, did Grizzly say that that entity caused that? No, I did not. But I sure wouldn't the heck challenge something. If you're having activity like that in your home, if you're investigating a place like that and you're getting EVPs that are threatening like that, man, seek help. Get a hold of psychics. Whoever. Don't take it upon yourself to try to get rid of something that you don't know what you're messing with. What's your take, Derek?
I fully agree. Don't toy with them. If you can't see it, don't mess with it. That's my take on it. And granted,
You know, everybody asks me, Derek. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Granted,
No, go
not
ahead.
everybody can see them, but then again, it's even psychics have to worry about being attacked. I've been jumped a few different times, and it's not fun. It can be dangerous. You have to really respect the spirits.
And they always tell me, Derek, how can you believe in something you don't see? How can you believe in something you can't see? You know what I tell them? Do you believe in wind?
Yeah.
You're like, what do you mean? I go, you can feel that, can't you? But you can't see it. Makes them stop and think, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do out there, you know, have fun doing it. Just be careful. You know, if good exists, so does evil. You know, if you're out there investigating and stuff, you know, get a hold of somebody that has abilities and take them out with you and see what's shaking and baking out there, you know, wherever you're going. You know, I had no idea Derek was going to read my dolls and tell me that Jackie was here with me. I knew I had something. I've been saying I had something in my studio with me. So I know what to do now. So I appreciate that, Derek. I really do. Derek's actually on a panel to work on other cases, missing persons and so forth, with other ones, and Catherine and Karen and everybody else. So from coast to coast, Derek, I greatly appreciate you being on the show, brother, and sorry about the problems and everything. And
that's all right.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll make sure and tell Jackie I'll get those cat balls, okay?
Will do.
Thank you, sir. Hey,
Thank you.
God bless you all. Take care.
It's a Grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a Grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a Grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
Okay. It's a Grizzly.
Are you sure it's not Jim Monk? Action. Nah, get out of here.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here.
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. Shh. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just going to sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!